I knew I didn't want to spend the rest of my life in prison. So I was thinking already about what I could do and how I could make a living and turn my life around. I just didn't know what direction to go in. When I got out of prison, I ended up selling drugs again for a short period of time, just because of the frustration, all the rejections I was getting trying to find work. I ended up landing I ended up landing a job with Taco Bell. I worked with them for about 2 years before I ended up going to 7-Eleven. It was better pay, more hours. So that ties back into me always looking for better opportunities. At that time, I married my first wife and we had our first son, Marcus. So all this led me to seek better career opportunities in the field of construction. Okay, the foundation of my book, and I think the foundation of you moving forward in your construction career, is having the right mindset. And today I would like to speak to you on how very important that is and how that pertains to your career in construction. Okay, a can-do attitude. You know, us in construction, we get paid for what we can do and not what we can't do. So when you're out there, you have to have belief in yourself and your abilities, and believe that you can tackle the difficult problems that are out there in the field. This is what's going to make you a superstar out there in the field, and this is what not only construction companies are looking for, this is what the world is looking for in general. They're looking for problem solvers. So the best way to be a problem solver is have a can-do attitude, knowing that you can tackle any problem with the right consideration and planning. Anything is possible. And you know, it still amazes me today what men can do when they come together, work together as a team to accomplish something. And this reminds me of a story. When I was in the apprenticeship, when I was in the carpenter's apprenticeship, I would be paired up with journeyman carpenters, and I would be given assignments that I would thought was completely impossible at that time when they gave me the assignment. These are assignments that I thought that I could not complete, but not a short time later, a journeyman carpenter will complete that same assignment. And this would always challenge my philosophy, my pride, because I have always been a very competitive person by nature. That's just who I am. I've always been very competitive. So you must keep in mind that you can do anything that you set your mind to. Okay, the next thing I would like to discuss is self-reassurance and determination. Out in construction, you're not always going to be given your props or acknowledged for your job or for doing a job well. This for me led to a lot of frustration and aggravation. Many times I remember coming home to my wife mad, angry, upset, because I was given 110% and I didn't feel like that I was getting acknowledged for that. So this became a tremendous source of frustration and aggravation, sometimes to the point of bitterness and tears when I came home at night from work. But what I found out through experience is that you must pat your own self on the back and acknowledge your own work and effort, because you're not always going to get that from 1, the foreman, or 2, the superintendent, or 3, the company. So my advice to you, like I found out, is that you must give yourself praises and acknowledgement for your jobs that you do out there in the field, and just have the satisfaction of knowing that you are competing on a very high level and you're giving it your all. With that, I'd like to talk about giving 110% daily. You know, Giving 110% is not always an easy thing to do. Putting out that effort and working on that level on a daily basis takes a tremendous amount of commitment, drive, and determination. But if you want to be one of the best workers out there, no matter what your field, you want to be one of the best laborers, you want to be known for one of the best laborers, one of the best electricians, one of the best carpenters, one of the best foremen or superintendents, you must continue to give your all. Give your passion, give all your heart, give all your work, hard effort, your thinking, your planning. This is what's going to propel you forward in the career of construction. So you want to, when you're out there, you want to be giving this your all. You want to be giving this your passion. I love construction. You know, I love seeing buildings go up. I love seeing men come together and work. I love seeing the completed project. So I'm always out there doing my part, giving my 110%. And this makes me proud. I can come by years later, look at the project, and know that I played a part in that. And that gives me a tremendous amount of satisfaction. Another thing that I would like to talk about is high energy. You know, construction is hard work and it's a very high energy occupation. All you have to do is go to a construction site, sit across the street or look inside the peepholes, and it will confirm this, what I'm talking about high energy. So when you are walking the construction site, you need to be walking with self-assurance. You need to be walking like you've got things to accomplish. Because remember, if you're an African American, you're representing the people of color out in the construction field. And even if you're not, in general, no matter what color you are, this applies to you. You want to be walking the field with high energy because most of us love what we're doing. I love construction. Can I see a hand, or is there anybody else in the crowd that feels as passionate about construction as I do? Can I see your hand? Thank you. Well, I know I'm not standing alone because I love construction, so I'm always walking around full of energy, full of enthusiasm, and full of passion because I love this trade. It's provided me with income, it's allowed me to take vacations, and it's allowed me to take care of my family. The next thing I'd like to talk about is my personal definition as a carpenter. And a carpenter is someone that is out there continually measuring their skills against other carpenters, against the trade as a whole, and they want to make sure that their performance is matching up to industry standards. So a good carpenter is always evaluating his performance. To me, they have a library of reference books and material they can go to check on any subject that they need to complete a project. They access YouTube videos for further understanding and visual aids. And they also still value core community values and don't become workaholics by doing community service, serving in their church and neighborhoods, and serving as mentors. So to me, that is the ideal picture of a carpenter, or the definition of a carpenter. Working safe. We work out there in one of the most dangerous occupations, construction. More people die from falls on a yearly basis in construction than any other industry. So when you are out there, you need to always be thinking about the safety of yourself and fellow workers. You need to take your safety seriously, that of yours and your workers. Always wear your PPEs, your helmet, safety glasses, hard hat, gloves, steel-toe boots, whatever is required to work safe on the job site. And that must always be at the first and foremost of your mind if you want to go home at the end of the day. Because after all, your family is depending on you. They need you, and they need you to come home safe. Okay, I would like to discuss an honest day's work for an honest day's pay. Uh, you know, I come from the union, and we pride ourselves on being some of the most productive and highly driven carpenters out in the field. And I've also met many other carpenters that had that same mindset. It ties into the first topic that I talked about, is mindset. So to me, excuse me, the paycheck that I receive every week, I like to know that I've earned every red cent of that paycheck, and nothing has been given to me, but I've earned that. To me, there's a priceless feeling knowing that. And with that being said, an honest day's work for an honest day's pay is the same we have in the union. That means our performance either matches or exceeds the pay that we're given. So when you're out there, you need to give an honest day's work. You need to be out there working. You need to be out there producing. That's what we get paid for. From the laborer to the project manager, we all are producers, and we're trying to make things happen. So we need to give an honest day's work out there so we continue to work and feed our families, and the company continue to make money. Quality work matters. You know, it seems like in this day and time, quality has lost its meaning, the meaning that it has once had. We in construction, we produce a product. Our product is buildings and structures. Just like any other business, we want to produce a quality product. That's what our investors are looking for. That's what the people that manage the buildings are looking for. That's what the public is looking for. So we need to be out there producing a quality product, and always have that in our mind when we're working. If you're building forms, you want the forms not to be given, or blowouts, or rock pockets, or anything of that nature, because that means somebody has to come behind and fix that, and that dives into the company's bottom line. And if their bottom line keeps getting affected, there's a good possibility of you getting laid off. So you have a direct interest in doing quality work. And not only from the financial prospect, quality work should matter because you want to do a quality job. You want to be known for doing quality work. That increases your value. People are going to seek you out. They're going to go, hey, that guy Desmond over there, he does quality work, and we love to have him on our team. We love to stick him around. We know when he does something, he's going to do a good job. Or, hey, look at Sandra over there. When she frames, there's no shiners. Everything is 16 on center. The wall's squared up. So there's no problems when we need to sheetrock it or whatever the case may be. So remember, quality work matters. Okay, the next thing I would like to discuss is don't let anyone get in the way of your dreams. Don't let anyone stop you. Tying back into the main topic that I'm talking about is overcoming challenges and obstacles in the construction field. You're going to run into many of them. There are racial people out there with racial hang-ups. There are people who have gone through divorces. There's people that's not going to believe in you and what you're trying to accomplish. But all this stuff, you cannot let get in your way. You have to always remind yourself that you're trying to fulfill your vision. You're trying to attain your dreams. You're trying to fulfill your vision, and that no one can stop you except yourself. So do not let other people frustrate you. And people will frustrate you, don't get me wrong, because when you're not treated fairly, you get frustrated, you get angry. I understand that because I've been there. But what I'm trying to say is you cannot let that stop you. Because in the end, if you do, the only person going to end up losing is yourself. Okay, helping others. I feel like me as a journeyman carpenter, it's my responsibility to pass what I've learned to the next generation. And because when I was an apprentice, journeyman carpenters took the time out of their busy schedule to sit down with me and do the same thing So I believe it's my obligation to pass my knowledge and skill to the next generation, which was, one of the inspirations for me writing the book. So, with that being said, when you're out there in the field, help your fellow laborer out. Help your fellow carpenter out. Whoever's in the field, if they need help, take the time to help them. Teach them the right and safe way to do things, the productive way to do things, because that's your obligation. Somebody taught you, turn around and help somebody else. Now we're going to go into racial discrimination in the construction industry. This is a topic that a lot of companies and individuals do not want to talk about. I like to start with a statement. There is racial discrimination in the construction industry. Whoever tells you there's not, they are looking through rose-colored glasses, or they're in denial. That's my honest opinion. Men are favored over women. Whites are favored over blacks. Mexicans are favored over blacks sometimes. So there is racial discrimination in the construction industry. But don't let that become an obstacle that stops you from going to where you need to go. Because just like there are many people that discriminate out there, there's a lot of people, regardless of race, that's going to be out there to give you a helping hand. Cannon Construction is one of them. They're providing job opportunities right now in the community, so they're backing up what they're saying. And I like that. You know, it's one thing to say we're an equal opportunity employer. It's another thing to go out, reach out in the community, and hire the people in the community. That shows that you really believe in what you're saying. One of the things that I've noticed as a carpenter or a tradesman in general is that African Americans and women are usually not brought into the job, or the job starts until later in the project. This has been my personal experience. So we seem to always be the last hired and the first laid off. If your experience has been different, I respect that, I commend you on that, but I am just sharing with you what my experience has been. So with that being said though, I don't let it stop me from doing what I need to do, because I'm on a mission. I need to stay employed to feed my family. I have a vision for myself and the black community at large, so I'm not going to let nobody's policy stop me from doing what I'm doing, and I suggest you have that same attitude. Now, I would like to go into overcoming stereotypes. Us as humans, we all have stereotypes. We all have prejudices, whether we admit them or not. A stereotype is a belief that you have in a group of people. You might think that women are not smart as men. You might think basketball people make better basketball players. Blacks cannot run and manage work. They cannot run crews. They cannot run major successful businesses. These are the stereotypes that I'm talking about that's out there. And you know, how I try to change that tide or people's beliefs is by my performance. When I'm out there, I want to be so productive and so forward thinking that people look at me and they cannot put me in the box with every other stereotype. And not only that, these stereotypes are often not even true. You know, everybody's an individual and we perform on an individual level. So stereotyping people is usually incorrect, but it is an issue that needs to be addressed. Okay, being the token or the black token. A lot of companies out there like to think of themselves as equal opportunity employees when they're not. A lot of them out there have what I call a token. A token is someone that you hire a minority, a woman, a handicapped person, you really are not hiring them on a regular basis. You don't really have more than one around, but you do have that one to make you feel better about yourself and your company. So when people approach you and say, do you have any minorities on the job site, and you can point to the one person that you do have on the job site, which is your token. Me myself, I've never been satisfied with that title, only because I know my value, and I want to be valued as a person first and not as a token. I don't want you to keep me around because I'm black. I want you to keep me around because I'm a hell of a carpenter. That's my personal belief. So I'm not comfortable being a company's token. I know that a lot of people are just happy to have their job, if they're token or not. But you know, having a dream fulfilled is important, but not having a dream accomplished is a slow, painful death. The next topic that I'd like to go into is how minorities are often less valued as workers. Let's face it, this is not a fair world. Let's just be real. And a lot of times when minorities, women, blacks, Latinos, Orientals, but especially African Americans, we're out there working and we're not valued, we're not given the same value as someone from another race. A lot of times they think the Latino is more intelligent, the white's more intelligent, man is more intelligent than a woman. So that's putting a lesser value on this other person, not on their performance, but on their skin color, on their gender, or on their handicap. And this is definitely an issue that needs to be addressed, it needs to be talked about, because we can't change it if people aren't willing to talk about it. So this is something we need to face. Operating equipment. Okay. Operating equipment is one of the most emotionally satisfied occupations out there. But I have noticed there are not a lot of African Americans or women operating equipment. And what I'm talking about equipment is, I'm talking about your backhoe, your bobcat, your great awl, crane operators, construction pumps. These are the things I'm talking about. Minorities, especially African Americans and women, are grossly underrepresented in these occupations. And I know they're financially rewarding. I know more minorities would like to get into them. So this is what I suggest. If this is something that interests you, go to your foreman today, pull him aside, say, you know what, I would really love to learn how to operate the bobcat or the backhoe or whatever the equipment that you're thinking about operating. You can also ask them, are you guys going to be providing any training so I can get certified in this? And things of that nature. Many times companies pay people to come in and train their workers on different types of equipment, so they're compliant with OSHA regulations and things like that. So, but you need to. They're not going to schedule this if you don't go to them and ask for it. So go to your foreman, go to your superintendents, show your interest, be sincere, be persistent, and pursue that area or that field if that's something you're interested in. And also, you know, reminds me of a story. There were many times when I was an apprentice that I would just come up and tell a foreman, you know, I would love to learn how to operate that bobcat or backhoe, whatever the case. Sometimes they dropped what they were doing right on the spot, brought me over, and said, you know what, well, let me show you how to safely operate this. Because they seen I was so enthusiastic about it. So if you're enthusiastic, opportunity is going to open for you. But like they say, a closed mouth doesn't get fed, so you need to bring this up to your superintendent, foreman, and the company. Also, you can apply to the operators union see if they have open enrollment. They have a test that you need to